The Warriors beat the Sacramento Kings 114-97 in Game 3 and now trailed the series 2-1, but seem to have found their winning formula, and I'm not sure the Warriors will lose again in this series. And what's interesting is it seems like the Draymond Green suspension was a blessing in disguise because it allowed the Warriors to find their winning formula. They needed to change their starting lineup, and I'm not sure they would have if Draymond hadn't gotten himself suspended, but he did. And so Jordan Poole started. And now it's clear that that's the starting lineup for the rest of the series because defense didn't get any worse. Rebounding didn't fall off, but the offense got a lot better because now you got 4 shooters around Kevon Looney. Playing Looney and Draymond Green together is tough. They're both centers. Neither one shoots. It hurts the offense. It hurts the spacing. But you get Draymond out and put him on the bench. You move Wiggins over to the 4. I mean, the shooting gets better. The rebounding doesn't fall off because Wiggins is just as good at rebounding as Draymond. And now you got Poole in the starting lineup. And it's obvious that really no one on the Kings in their starting lineup can guard him. Not Keegan Murray. He tried. He got in quick foul trouble in the first quarter. Not Herter, not Barnes, not Sabonis. So that's a tough matchup right there for the Kings starting lineup. And then I think it's good for Draymond to come off the bench in this series because Kevon Looney does such a good job on Sabonis. They don't need Draymond Green to battle and wrestle with Sabonis, who's bigger than him. Looney does it really well. He defends him without fouling him. I mean, that was a key in this game. 20 rebounds for Kevon Looney, but also defending Sabonis, holding him down, not letting him get to 20 points, and not letting him get to the foul line much. That was huge. So you don't need Draymond Green in the starting lineup. Defense didn't fall apart without him. Bring him off the bench. You can give him 30 minutes off the bench. Give him JaMychal Green's minutes, Anthony Lamb's minutes. Yeah, it seems like you can match him up against Alex Len, run him off the court. Seems like a better configuration, a better rotation for the Warriors than what they were doing before. Also, it seems like they found a bench in this game. Moses Moody, good player, clutch player. He's got to keep playing. Dante DiVincenzo. Sorry, Dante, you're a really good player. He had a phenomenal game. He was everywhere. Really proved himself in a must-win playoff game. So between Draymond, Moses Moody, and Dante DiVincenzo, that's 3 guys off the bench. You also have Gary Payton II, who didn't play. He was sick. That's 9. That's a 9-man rotation. If you want Anthony Lamb, that's 10. Or Kuminga. I mean, it seems like all of a sudden they went from a team with 5 or 6 players to a team with 10 or 11. And it was all because Draymond's gone. And now they won a game without him, and he needs to humbly reinsert himself back into this team. And I think it's interesting. The season started with him punching out Jordan Poole. Now it's going to close with Jordan Poole taking his starting job and Draymond Green having to deal with it. And I think he will because he's a team player and he's a winner. And I think he'll understand that this is what's best for the team, I guess. We'll see what happens. But this is the whole key to the series, benching Draymond Green. He essentially benched himself. And now the Warriors see they're way better off not playing Looney and Green at the same time. They're way better off having Wiggins and Thompson be the forwards and having Curry and Jordan Poole play together. Maybe that configuration, that lineup won't work in the next series, but I think it's going to get them past the Kings. Because, again, they're a bunch of they're really slow on defense. And they did a good job of sort of defending the Warriors' three-point shooting in the first couple of games. But once you take a non-shooter off the court and Draymond, put Jordan Poole on the court and have him penetrating and attacking the glass, now the Kings defense really is exposed. They're not a good defensive team. They had a good defensive game plan because Mike Brown knows the Warriors, but once Steve Kerr adjusted, changed his attack, brought in Jordan Poole, I don't know that Mike Brown has another adjustment he can make. And, we were talking about Mike Brown out coaching Steve Kerr. Yeah, that lasted for a couple games. And then Steve Kerr saw what Mike Brown was doing, adjusted, and I think Steve Kerr is going to win this series. So all credit to the Sacramento Kings. Good team, but you just encountered the playoff Warriors, what they do to teams. They were sort of like a boxer, not really throwing many punches in the first couple of rounds. They were sort of scouting out the opponent, seeing what they do, and now it's just combination after combination to the jaw. And I think the Kings are on the ropes. I think they're going to lose Game 4, and then the series is going to be determined in Game 5. I kind of have a feeling the Warriors are going to win the next 3 games, and that's that. I don't see what adjustment the Kings can make. I think Jordan Poole in the starting lineup and Draymond Green to the bench is checkmate, and it's going to be interesting to see if Kirk can stick with this the rest of the playoffs because, again, you don't want Looney and Draymond on the court together. And I think you saw this was an experiment. Can Wiggins hold up at power forward? Can Clay hold up at small forward? Yes, absolutely, at least against this team. So all of a sudden, the offense is fixed. The rebounding is good. The defense is good. The rotation is there. These are the Warriors. Kind of feels stupid to have counted them out after 2 games where they hadn't even lost at home yet. That was an all-time historic Warriors performance. Got to have a game. No Draymond Green. A lot of people counted him out. The Kings never threatened the Warriors in this game. The Warriors led the entire way, and the Kings looked not just overmatched, but not ready for the moment. Not ready for the moment. Like a little overwhelmed by the enormity of the moment, the crowd, everything. They looked meek as a team. And there was a clip at the end when the Warriors were pulling away by 15-plus points. You had Domantas Sabonis on the bench talking to Davion Mitchell, just whining. And Davion Mitchell was saying something, and Sabonis just kept saying, how? How? And I thought it was interesting. I don't know what the question was, but it just seemed like Sabonis realized that he's not going to get those cheap, easy foul calls anymore. And now that he has to work for his points, the answer is, how am I going to score? The question is, how am I going to score? And that's why I feel like it's really key to get Draymond off Sabonis. That's a bad matchup for Draymond. Sabonis is too big. The refs are looking to call Draymond for fouls. Let Looney do it. Looney is the nice guy, right? He's just minding his own business, playing tough. Refs don't seem to have a problem with him. That's an advantage for the Warriors. Looney on Sabonis. Move Draymond out to the second unit and let him go against Alex Len. Then he'll make Alex Len a freaking liability. So Warriors are a lot of fun to watch. Kings are too, but I think they're done. I think they know it too. Look at their faces. Look at Sabonis yelling "how" on the bench in the fourth quarter to Davion Mitchell and tell me how are they going to get back in this series? Boy, it's interesting to see the Warriors go from being in check to creating checkmate in like 3 moves. Amazing.